Hello friends and welcome to your FriYay Pick a card. We are at the end of March 2021, which means change of seasons. And of course my favorite time of the year. I just love the change from summer to autumn. Obviously I am in the Southern Hemisphere. I am based in South Africa. So for those of you who are not here with me, if you're not in the Southern Hemisphere, this is maybe not going to be all that relevant to you, because our theme today and everything that I want to work on today has got to do with the changing from summer to autumn, from going from the bright sunshine of the summertime to the slightly darker, slightly longer evenings, more cozy, more nurturing time of autumn. Here where we are, or where I am based in Durban, South Africa, we don't really ever get winter. We have a couple of cold days. When I say cold, I mean slightly chilly days where you could maybe put on a jersey or something like that, but it never really gets cold. Autumn to me is just the best. We still have bright sunshiny skies, clear beautiful blue air. It's still cozy enough and comfortable enough to be outdoors in the evenings, in the daytime, but the humidity and that excess heat just seems to dissipate a little bit, and that is what I truly enjoy. I am At this time of the year, I get quite over summer. I get quite over all the hot, and I want to wear a jersey. I want to be comfy. I want to be cozy. I want to be cuddled. And yeah, so that's the kind of theme that I'm working with today in our FriYay Pick card. I know we've missed the equinox. It happened on the 21st of March, which was a couple of days ago. But I think the energy is still relevant. I think the energy is still very much there, even if it is slightly delayed. Maybe let's blame it on me and say that I'm the one that's slightly delayed. So to do this, I got two new decks in this week, which I think I got this one in last week, that I want to work with, and I'm so excited to work with both of them. The first deck that I'm going to be working with is the Joy de Vie Tarot. It is just the images, the graphics, it's just amazing. I've been working with this deck quite a lot this week, and I am so loving it. And then a deck that actually arrived on Thursday. This is the Roots and Wings Oracle. Okay, it is not a tarot deck, it is an oracle deck, as I said, Roots and Wings, but it is just gorgeous. The imagery is it's stunning. The imagery is simple, but it speaks volumes. I mean, just look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? I love that there's just the one key word at the bottom of the deck, and it allows your intuition, or my intuition, to just really go wild. And I love that. With my intuition, we don't like too many rules. We don't like too many structures. We like to just open the door and see what happens. So this deck is just phenomenal, and it's that gorgeous buttery rose petal finish, which I just adore. And of course it's tiny. Well, it's not tiny, it's perfect size for me. So those are the two decks that I'm going to be working with today. So I sat with Spirit, as I do each week when I want to do the recording of your FriYay, and I said, right, so what are we doing? And Spirit said, right, well, let's look at the change of seasons. Let's look at the change from summer to autumn. So that was the overall theme, which I have already just explained and expressed. And then we sat and we came up with a couple of questions. And I need to look there, 5. I have got 5 questions which I have written down that we're going to be looking at. And because I want to work with these two decks, because I want to work with the Joy de Vie and I want to work with the Roots and Wings Oracle, normally I stick with like a tarot deck, and then I draw an oracle card at the end as confirmation, as an added extra message. But actually what Spirit wants me to do today is we're actually going to start off with the oracle. So the first question that we're going to ask with the oracle, then we're going to shift to tarot, and we're going to end off with the oracle. So we're going to get from the 5 questions, oracle, tarot, 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 and then oracle to finish off. And I'm hoping it's going to work. Based on the questions that we have, I think it'll actually be quite lovely. So for those of you who are finding my pick a card for the first time, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. The way that it works is I record a couple of messages. I record a couple of readings, all based on the same questions, but the cards get shuffled and drawn for each one, so each one is very different. All you have to do is pick the right one. That's all you have to do, is look at the bundles that are available, look at the options that are available to you, and decide which is the one that has the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need. And then if you look down below, there will be timestamps that can take you straight to that portion of the video, so you don't have to watch the whole lot. So let's do that, shall we? So let me perform my magic on screen. So on screen right now will be a photograph of the bundles that are available to you. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a brief second, and when you are ready, just exhale it out. And with that exhale, and with all exhales, just let all your stress, your worry, your anxieties, whatever it is that's in your mind, whatever it is that's occupying your heart, just let it all go for a brief second and just ground yourself. Feel your feet on the earth, feel your feet on the ground, and just allow yourself to breathe. Take as many deep breaths in and out as you need to, and with every exhale, just release the stress, release the worry, release the anxiety, release the tension that you may be holding, especially in your shoulders, the back of your neck, and your jaw. You know, make a conscious effort to release those muscles, to release those parts of your body. And then you can look at the image. If you need to pause and take your time here, absolutely feel free to do that. But look at the image and ask yourself, which of these bundles, which of these groups seems to be pulling you in, seems to be drawing you in, which one seems to have the message, the reading, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need. And once you know which one you're going for, then it's easy. Like I said, then you just use the timestamps and you pop across and everything is good. All I ask from you is, if you do enjoy your reading, if you do enjoy your message, to give this video a thumbs up, because that at least tells YouTube that more people need to see it. So the more thumbs up I get, the more people see the video. That's just how the YouTube algorithms work. So that's all I ask from you. Let's get this message to as many people as we can, so everybody can feel good and know exactly where they need to be, what they need to be focusing on, and what's important, especially now as we go through the change of seasons. All right, so let's get straight into it. We're going to start with bundle 1, and I shall see you there. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose bundle 1 as the bundle that has the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life right now. Welcome. So I am shuffling cards already. If you didn't watch the intro, I am using 2 decks today, and we're going to use them for the entire reading. So let's just get the shuffling going, starting off with the Roots and Wings Oracle. So let's just set the intention as I start shuffling the cards. So we're asking Spirit to draw near. We're asking Spirit to connect with every single one of us. We're asking Spirit to assist us and to give us the cards that have the messages and the reading and the guidance that we need. We're asking Spirit to put their band of love and protection around every single one of us during this time, and to just help us receive the guidance, the clarity that we need in our lives, right here and right now. And so it is. And so it is. All right, so that is the Oracle card, or Oracle deck, I should say, shuffled. I'm just going to cut the deck like that, and I'm going to draw straight off the top. So I'm going to leave them here on the table in front of me, and hopefully they don't fall. And now we're going to pick up the Joy de Vie Tarot. I love this deck. It is just so awesome. And both of these are quite nice and small. Cardstock is fabulous for my clumsy hands. So really enjoying it. Let's just give it a nice shuffle. I did shuffle before I start recording, as I always do. But I like to shuffle when I have your attention and when I have you on screen, have you on camera. Or should I say you have me on camera? I don't know which way it goes. All right, I think they are shuffled. Okay, so we are looking at, let me just put them together. We are looking at, oh my gosh, a bit slippery. We're looking at the moving from summer to autumn, and the energies around that, and what it is that you need to be aware of, what it is that you need to be mindful of, and how can you best embrace this time of year. So I have got 5 questions written down on the table here in front of me. It's just over there. You can't see it. I have my 5 questions, and we're going to start off with the Oracle deck with the first question. Then we're going to shift on to the tarot, go back to the oracle to finish it all up and to see what kind of messages we get. So moving from summer to autumn, we're going from bright, we're going from, you know, the sun being at its most intense, and now we're moving into darker, slightly less intense heat-wise kind of temperatures and weathers. So the first card, or the first question that we have, is what am I reaping in my life right now? Because obviously whatever we've been doing over summer has been preparing us and getting us ready for whatever is coming through now in the autumn period. So what am I reaping in my life right now? What am I reaping in my life right now? And the card that we've got from the Roots and Wings Oracle is blind. And if we have a look here, we have a soul, here we have an energy who is naked. You can see that there's no clothing, and they are covering their face, and they are blind. They're not seeing. So what are you reaping in your life right now? You don't know. This is Spirit's little sense of humor, and Spirit saying, peekaboo, peekaboo, you can't see me. This is Spirit saying that whatever it is that you are reaping in your life right now, you are blind to it. You are not seeing it. You are not aware of it. You are not conscious of what it is that you are reaping. There are many things that are reaping in your life, but you're not aware and you're not mindful of them. And this generally happens when we are bogged down with challenges, when we are bogged down with problems, when life just seems to get a little bit too overwhelming and we don't really know which way is up, okay? And we get so focused on the challenges, we get so focused on the problems that we have, that we cannot see the wood for the trees. So blind is basically saying to you that yes, you are reaping something, but you're not aware. You're not seeing it. You're not seeing the positives. You're not seeing the possibles. You're not seeing all the good that is right there in front of you. And maybe you need to take your hand away from your eyes so that you can see. Maybe you need to remove the blindfold and open your eyes and look at exactly what is going on around you. So what are you reaping at the moment? What is coming through for you in this next period, in this next season, this autumn season that we're going into? We're not entirely sure at this stage. I love these cards. Aren't they gorgeous? All right. So I'm going to leave that one on the table here in front of me, and let's go into the next and see if we can't put it all together and get a good interpretation. So now we're going to move on to tarot. So question 2, question 3, and question 4. We're going to read using the tarot. So I'm going to take a tarot card off the top of the pile. What aspects of your life require balance right now? So we understand that we're not seeing the positives, we're not seeing the beauty, we're not seeing the good, or whatever it is that you're reaping in your life. We understand that. Now with this card, we're asking what aspects of your life require balance right now. And very interesting that we have now chosen the Hierophant. Let's see if I can get Hierophant into focus. So can you see now she has got a couple of things going on for her there. I love these little bell flowers that we have, oopsie, over here and over here. We have got all of there's so much activity, there's so much going on. She's reading a book, she's holding a key, there's all sorts of things going on. I love all the fish in her hair, everything. And the thing that really stands out for me is this beautiful golden star that's shining from her heart space. So the Hierophant is the teacher, the Hierophant is the leader, the Hierophant is the person that mentors and guides and assists others. And what aspects of your life require balance right now is your balance between who you are, what you are, and what you stand for, okay? Because that's what I'm getting from Hierophant. Hierophant is somebody that everybody looks up to, everybody goes to for answers, everybody goes to for guidance. Hierophant is the person who gives inspiration and just sort of nudges and teaches and leads people through their challenges. And maybe this is why you cannot see what you're reaping in your life right now, because you're so focused on everybody else's life. You're so focused of being of service, and you're so focused of giving to other people all the time that you have, sadly, neglected yourself. So the Hierophant is about leadership, teaching, inspiring, motivating other people. And this is what needs balance in your life. So I'm going to say to you, with this change of energy that we have at the moment from summer to autumn, with this shift that's taking place right now, the area in your life that where you need the most balance is the amount of you that you're giving out. We need to pull back a little bit. We need to stop giving as much as we have, because we cannot see what's going on in our own lives. We cannot see the good and the bad and the ugly that we have within our own energies, within our own space. And that's wrong. We need to be more focused on the self. So we're not saying don't help others. No, that's not what we're saying. What we are saying is just to be mindful of how much you're giving to others, and maybe hold back a little bit for yourself. Okay, so I'm again going to leave that on the table here in front of me, and we're taking another tarot card. And question 3 is, what is changing for me at this time? When I say for me, I mean for you. What is changing for you at this time? What is this change of seasons? What is the change that's bringing into your space right here and right now? And we have got the Five of Swords. So again, let's get into focus. So here we have these two bird-like energies. I love the boots, by the way. Can you just see those boots? We have got three swords on the floor here. They sort of seem to be walking between the two, and they each have a sword. I love how this one's got all these decorations on their sword, and I love the polka dots. I love that. Just the cutest. These cards are just absolutely gorgeous. When I look at the sky, when I look at the background of this card, it looks like it's a little bit chaotic. It looks like it's a little bit whoosh, 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 okay? It's not clear, it's not clean, it's not neat and tidy. There's a little bit of chaos. Five of Swords is the card that says, you know, sometimes we have to do things we don't really want to do. Sometimes we have to carry out actions and carry out behaviors and do things that maybe don't make us feel fabulous, but it's necessary. It's something that we have to do. We don't always have a choice. So question 3 in our reading today was, what is changing for you at this time? Well, maybe you're starting to recognize the things that you have to do that you don't particularly like doing or don't particularly want to do. And it's about finding that balance between how much you're giving and what you're doing for others, even the things that you don't want to do and the things you don't feel like doing. Maybe we need to stop doing this. Maybe that's what the Hierophant is saying to us. Maybe this is exactly what the cards are telling you. The cards are saying to you that, you know what's changing for you at the moment is recognizing all the things that you do that don't bring you joy, all the things that you do that don't make you happy, all the things that you do that cause you pain, suffering, and anxiety. And maybe that's what's changing in your life, is once you recognize all of these things that you do that you don't want to, and we can now start saying, hold a second, let me open my eyes, let me see clearly, let me see exactly what's going on in my life, and let me make the appropriate changes that are necessary for my benefit. And again, when I say my, I mean your, for your benefit, okay? Because you're giving and giving and giving all the time, and you're probably not getting enough in return. And, you know, you're getting to a point now where you're starting to be quite unhappy with yourself, quite unhappy with your choices and your decisions and your actions. You're trying your best to make everything look fabulous, you know, polka dots and all the other things. You're trying your best to make everything look good, but it's just not fulfilling soul purpose. And if it's not fulfilling soul purpose, then what's the purpose? Then what's the purpose? Okay. Right, question 4. This is getting quite good. Question 4. What do I need to let go of? Okay, so obviously each of these questions are sort of building towards a thing, all right? So we've looked at what are you reaping in your life at the moment. We're looking at what aspects of your life require balance. We've looked at what is changing for you at the moment, and now we're looking at what do you need to let go of in your life? What do you need to let go of? And again, we have such an interesting card. Ace of Cups. So let me just again get it into focus, because these cards are just exquisite. Look how her cup runneth over, and there's the water spewing out. I love the little birds over here with all the hearts. We've got hearts and birds on this side as well, all the hearts on her dress, and everything is looking quite fabulous. Ace of Cups is about letting new people, new emotional experiences and opportunities into your life, and this is something that you need to let go of. Your life at the moment, I'm laughing because I can hear Spirit saying there's no more space. We're full up here, okay? The hotel is full. There is no more space for anybody. So you don't want to be bringing any new energies in. You don't want to be bringing in any new people, because you don't have space for yourself. You're blind to your own circumstances and your own situation and your own happiness, okay? So until you figure this out, until we get some balance here, until we get some balance with how much we're giving to everybody else, we don't want to be bringing any new people in, because all we're then doing is feeding this energy, and we don't want to be feeding this energy. Okay, so what do you need to let go of? You need to stop looking for, attracting, and calling in new people into your space. There's enough. The hotel is full. There is no more room at the inn. It's full up. I love that. And you know, it means that we need to be more focused on ourselves and more focused on the core people that we already have in our lives, and not look for solutions in other people or look for opportunities in other people. All right. I love that. I think that's actually quite hysterical. Okay, so that was question 4. Now I've already picked, whoopsie, I mustn't show you yet. I've already picked the oracle off the top of the deck. So this is going back to the Roots and Wings oracle. It's just such an awesome deck, such an awesome deck. So question 5, we're getting ahead of myself here. Question 5, what should you be focusing on next? So we've looked at a couple of things. We've looked at where you're falling short. We looked at what you need to be what's going on around you. We've looked at what you need to let go of. So once we've done all of that, what's next? What do you need to focus on next? And I just love this card. So what we have here is the card of inspiration. Can you see that? Inspiration. If I look at this image, there's a couple of things that I see from that image. First of all, I'm seeing roots of a tree. I'm also seeing 4 quadrants, so the 4 quarters that make up a whole, and those 4 quarters could be our elements. It could be, and looking at the colors of them, it's probably is absolutely referring to the element of fire, earth, air, and water, which are the elements that make us up, that makes up our planet, makes up our world. But the keyword at the bottom here is inspiration. And again, if we look at this in the shape of roots and how they just go off in every direction, and it's not just one thing, it's one thing here at the center, and then it sort of branches out and flowers out into all sorts of other directions and angles. The other thing that I'm seeing is, again, river flowing. Okay, so all of these kind of things lead to inspiration. When we have that one drop of water that lands and joins with the river, and the river is flowing, we don't know where it's going to go, but it could be anything. It could end up absolutely anywhere, and that's the inspiration. So it's not always knowing the full journey, it's not always knowing the destination, it's the journey itself that we go on. So what should you be focusing on next? Bringing inspiration to yourself. Let's do that. This card is blind. This card was telling you, what are you reaping in your life right now? You don't know. You can't see the wood for the trees. You can't see exactly what it is. You're so focused on everybody else around you, everybody else's needs, wants, and desires, that you have, sadly, neglected self. And with the change of seasons that we're going through now, with the change from summer into autumn, it's important that we get on track. It's important that we start recognizing the importance of self, because if you don't take care of you, nobody else is going to. That's the sad truth, isn't it? And you're blind to your own circumstances and your own situation. You're so focused on everybody else that you're neglecting the self. And the inspiration that you need to be aware of is the endless opportunities and possibilities. If you stop for a second and look at yourself, look at who you are, look at what you were about, what's going on in your life, what serves you and what doesn't serve you, okay? What brings you joy and what doesn't bring you joy. If you focus on that, and if you let go the need to please other people, and you recognize that you are significant and that you are important and that you matter, and you focus on inspiration and you focus on opportunities that are there for you, wow, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And that's exactly the message that Spirit have for you today. Anything is possible, but it's time to reel it in. It's time to recognize your importance and your significance. It's time to recognize all the good that you offer and all the good that you have, but it's also time to recognize that you matter. So friends, I do hope you enjoyed your reading. I do hope that it gives you just a little bit of food for thought, and I just hope that, as you go through the next couple of days, as you go through the next period in your life, the next season in your life, I just hope that you remember the words that have been given to you today, and that it just sparks just a shift and a change of attitude, a shift and a change of focus to allow you to live the life that you are meant to live. So as always, from my heart to yours, lots of love and blessings until we connect again. Take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose bundle 2 as the bundle that has the message, the reading, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are working with 2 decks today. I am working with a oracle deck as well as a tarot deck. And I have got 5 questions written out on the table here in front of me, all dealing with the change from summer to autumn. So as we go from the bright, strong, powerful days, we're starting to go into a little bit more quieter, a little bit darker, a little bit more introspection. And that's the theme for our reading today. So I do hope that you are going to enjoy it. As I said, I have got 5 questions written out on the table here in front of me, and we're going to do the first and the last question using the Roots and Wings Oracle deck, which is just phenomenal. And then we will do the questions 2, 3, and 4 using the Joy de Vie tarot deck, which I have here in front of me as well, and I'm about to drop it on the table. Okay, so let's get shuffling, let's set the intentions, let's get the energies right. So as I shuffle these cards today, we're asking Spirit to draw near, we're asking Spirit to surround us each in a band of love, light, and protection. We're asking Spirit to guide the cards that we draw today, and let the cards that we draw be the cards that have the message, the reading, the guidance, and the inspiration that we need in our lives today to help us through the change of these seasons, to help us through the change from summer to autumn, and that we may feel stronger and more confident in our activities. And so it is, and so it is. Okay. So I have now shuffled the Oracle deck. I want to just cut it while I have you on screen, okay? And I'm going to draw straight off the top. When I do, I'm going to leave them on the table there in front of me. And I now want to pick up the tarot deck, the Joy de Vie Tarot. Joy de Vie. I love this deck. The artwork is just amazing. And let's give it a shuffle. I did shuffle obviously before I started recording, but I always like to shuffle when I have you on camera with me, even though you can't really see my hands shuffling. But if I lift it up any higher, I'm going to end up throwing them on the table. All right, but I think they are shuffled. Let's cut the deck. And we're going to, again, draw straight off the top. Right, so I have those 2 on the table here in front of me. So as I said, I have got 5 questions that I sat and worked through with Spirit to help us through the change of seasons, the change of from summer to autumn, and all the other things that are going on in our lives. And let's just see, how can we take advantage? How can we work with it? How can we move with it? And how can we live our best life? So we're going to start off with the Roots and Wings Oracle. So I have taken a card straight off the top of the deck. So question 1, our first question that we have, what are you reaping in your life right now? Because as we go from summer into autumn, you know, we need to be harvesting, we need to be taking, we need to be reaping. And what is it that you are reaping in your life right now? And a very interesting card. We have got the card that says guarded. So we have this hand, and on the hand is the eye. And I'm loving all the bubbles around it as well. Okay, loving all the bubbles, and it says guarded. You know, so maybe you're a little bit guarded, maybe you're a little bit defensive, because when we put our hand up like that, we're like, no, stop, 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 stop. So maybe you're feeling a little bit defensive, maybe you're feeling a little bit guarded, and this is what you are reaping in your life. You may have during the summer period, during the last season, you may have had a couple of things happen in your life that have put you into this position where you're just like, no, 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 keep me safe, keep me safe, keep me safe, and you've got your guard up. And sometimes we need to recognize that this is, I'm going to call it a natural instinct to be guarded. It's a natural instinct to want to protect yourself and to keep yourself safe. And nobody else is going to do it. You have to do it for yourself. So we do tend to put these walls up, don't we? And I think what are you reaping in your life right now? It's telling you that, you know, if you've got your guard up, if you've got your hand up in a defensive action, that maybe this is preventing you from reaping anything. Maybe this is preventing you from moving forward. Maybe this is what's keeping you stuck, trapped, and isolated. So my interpretation of this card in the question is, what am I reaping in my life right now? It's saying to you that you're too guarded, and you're not going to reap anything if you don't let your guard down. You're not going to progress. You're not going to move forward. You're not going to be able to take advantage of the opportunities around you if you are so guarded. So it's time to take our hand. It's time to put it down, and it's time to start being, I almost want to say, a little bit more confident and secure in your actions and in your behaviors. So I'm going to leave that card on the table here in front of me where I can see it as a reminder. And we're now going to move into the tarot for the next 3 questions. So question 2 is, what aspects of life require balance for you right now? So question 2, what area in your life right now, as we go through the transition, as we go through the change, What area or what aspect of your life requires balance right now? And the card that we've drawn, I love this deck. I love the artwork. It just talks to my soul. It really does. We've got the King of Coins, okay? King of Coins has got to do with pentacles. Pentacles has got to do with our money and material possessions. And this is what needs balance. It's about having that control. It's about having that dominance. It's about having that assertiveness over your stuff, over your money and over your stuff. If we have a look at this gorgeous king, it's almost like he's got this little slight grin on his face, isn't it? I love the flower. I love that, you know, he's wearing his best. He's got his little bag there, which is flowing full. I love the heart at his feet. Okay, so he's feeling quite confident. He's feeling quite self-assured. He's feeling quite sure of himself. But this is the area in your life that requires balance. So are you overly assertive with regards to your money, or are you overly cautious with regards to your money? King talks about control and dominance and power and all of those kind of things. But this is the area where you need money. So you may be feeling too comfortable, too powerful, too solid, when actually maybe your situation is not as secure as you would like it to think. And maybe bringing this card back into it, bringing the guarded card back into it, maybe what this is saying to you is, because you're so guarded, you're holding onto your money tightly. You're not seeing all that you truly have, and this is what requires balance. So maybe you need to spend a bit of time. I would say when this card comes up in this particular question, it's maybe saying to you, sit down and do a budget. Sit down and actually plan your income versus your expenses, and make sure that you have the balance with regards to the control of your money, the control and the structure of your stuff. Okay, so we also need to be mindful of expenditure. We also need to be mindful of savings. We need to be mindful of all of these things, and this is where the balance is needed. So where do you need balance in your life? In the control of your income. All right, let's leave that on the table here in front of us, and we're going to pick another card. So question 3 is, what is changing for you right now as we go through this seasonal change? We're going from the summer to the autumn. You know, autumn is a little bit more introspective, a little bit more, you know, looking within as opposed to out there. And question 3 is, what is changing for you at this time? And this card makes so much sense considering the card we've just looked at. So let's bring it to focus. So it is the Emperor. It is a major arcana card. I love it. Look at it. First of all, the oranges and the fiery reds and the yellows and all of those kind of colors. I love how he's standing. I love how assured he is, how confident he is. And he's got his little characters, you know, down here by his feet, who are guarding him and protecting him and keeping him safe. But he's so in control. He really is. He is so in control. Emperor is about masculinity. It's about dominance. It's about control, just like our King of Coins. But our King of Coins is in the suit of money, in the suit of pentacles, whereas the Emperor is in the suit of life. And remember, the question we were asking is, what is changing for you? So you are clearly, as we go from summer into autumn, as we are going through this transition, as we're going through this change, one thing that is clearly most important to you right now is getting in control of your life, getting on top of things, okay? Getting on top of things and having that understanding is the most important thing for you right now. It's also about knowing your worth, okay? It's also about knowing your power, your authority, knowing your worth, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're good for, okay? It's also about just standing in your power, because that's what our Emperor does. He stands in his power. He doesn't need anybody else to validate his existence. He's very secure, very confident in himself, but he's not arrogant. So we need to make sure, again, it's that balance. You need to know your worth. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you're all about and what you're good at and what you're not good at, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. So the thing that's changing for you in your life right now is control. You are finally taking control of your own existence, of your own reality, of your own life. You are finally getting on top of those kind of things and not letting other people push you around and tell you what you want or what you need or what you're supposed to be doing. It's like you are finally feeling confident within yourself about yourself. All right, if I go back to this, that what you are reaping, and we have this guarded card. So what you are reaping is this guarded. It's saying to you that, you know what, you cannot take control of yourself. Let's put these two together. You cannot take control of yourself and take control of your situation and your circumstances if your guard is up, sorry, I need to make sure I'm pointing at the right card, okay? If you are too guarded, if you've got your guard up, there's no ways that you're going to be in control, because if you are being so defensive, and if you've got your guards up all the time, how are you going to see the opportunities? How are you going to get into this position of control and authority? You're not. So this is why it's important to recognize that the change that's happening in your life right now is about you taking control of yourself. We need to let our guards down, because they're no longer relevant, they're no longer valid. Those guards that you put up previously, they were necessary previously, absolutely. But right now, you are shifting from that. But it is important that we focus on our finances. It is important that we focus on our material possessions and the things that we have, the things that we want, and the things that we are working towards. And we need to make sure that we are practicing control. Oopsie, sorry. At all times. Okay, so that was question 3. We're going into question 4, and question 4 is, what do I need to let go of? Okay, what do you need to let go of in your life right now? So with everything that you're happening, everything that's going on around you, what is the one thing that you need to let go of in your life? And the card that I've drawn here is the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is about walking away. The 8 of Cups is about recognizing where you belong, recognizing where you want to be, and recognizing that you're not at that place, and saying, well, okay, toodaloo, and I'm off, okay? So the 8 of Cups is about recognizing that you are not where you want to be, and it's about exploring and looking at other options. So what is the thing, the question we have here, question 4 that we're looking at, is what do you need to let go of in your life right now? And it is anything and everything that doesn't bring you happiness, anything and everything that doesn't bring you joy. It's time to let go of the past, let go of people, circumstances, and situations that no longer serve a function or a purpose in your life. Let go of everything that keeps you guarded. Let go of everything that keeps you trapped, keeps you stuck, keeps you feeling alone and isolated. It's time to let go of all of that, and it's time to get into control, okay? It's time to take back our power, to take back our control, and it's time to move on, all right? What is it, again, the question we have here, what do you need to let go of? Anything and everything that doesn't serve you. It's time to progress. It's time to shift. It's time to move on. I think that is so relevant and so appropriate. All right, question 5. We are going to be working with the oracle again. So we're back to the Roots and Wings oracle that we started out with. And question 5 is, what should you be focusing on next? So we've discussed where you are. We've discussed what you're going through, and obviously this autumn period, where is it taking you? Where is this autumn period leading you to? What should you be focusing on next? And I love it. We've got home. I almost don't need to say anything, do I? It's quite a what's the word I'm looking for? Self-explanatory. Okay, so we need to be focusing on home. And you know what is home? Home is something that is different for everybody. It's not just about the brick and mortar. It's not just about the structure. It's not just about the address. Home is the place where you feel comfortable, where you feel content, where you feel at peace, and where you feel that sense of belonging. Because what do you need to let go of? You need to let go of anything and everybody that doesn't give you that sense of belonging, that sense of peace, that sense of home, that sense of community, family, career, whatever it may be. It's time to let go of that. And going forward, what do you need to focus on? You need to focus on what you consider to be home. Whatever is home to your heart and soul is what you need to be focusing on, is what you need to be mindful of. And it's interesting how we went from guarded and not letting anybody in, okay, keeping your hand up and saying no, 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 guarded and not letting anybody in, to having this beautiful home that brings us happiness, brings us joy, brings us, just, we want to be able to be comfortable. We want to be able to be at peace. We want to be able to just live our best life. And you obviously are not doing that right now, because there's complications and challenges, and, and because you are so guarded. And when we are so guarded, we don't see the opportunities. We don't see the way out. Just to recap as well, what aspects of your life need balance? You've got to find balance in your finances. You've got to find balance in your worth. I think that's it. It might not be about the physical money, but it's about your self-worth. Okay? You've got to find that balance within your self-worth, recognizing what it is that you are, who you are, and what truly matters to you. What is changing for you at the moment? Control. And it's almost like it's not that the control is changing, it's you being in control that's changing. And I believe it's you taking control, because you haven't had that. You haven't been in control for the longest time, whereas now you're getting to that point where you are taking control. And what do you need to let go of? Anything, anyone, everything that doesn't serve a purpose. And a place, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel content, if you don't feel like you belong, if you don't feel like it's a set that's where you're supposed to be, leave it alone, because you need to focus on home. Home is where the heart is. Home is where your soul, where you're just able to exhale and say, you know what, I'm happy. I'm happy. And this could be, like I said, it's not about the address. It's not about the physical structure. It's a state of being. Home is a state of being. And that's what you need to focus on. You've got to find your happy place. And your happy place lives here inside your heart. And that's what you need to be focusing on. So friends, I do hope that you enjoyed your reading. I do hope that it's just a little bit of food for thought as we go through the change of seasons, as we go from summer into autumn, and we start turning in a little bit. Just ponder this, just think about this, just think about the reading that you've just had, and ask yourself, you know, am I truly happy? Do I know where my home is? Am I content and happy in my home? What changes do I need to make within that environment? And do I have any guards up? Do I have any defensive mechanisms up? Am I keeping anybody out that maybe I shouldn't be? All right. Sending lots of love and blessings to each one of you. Thank you so much for allowing me to hold your hand through this journey of life. And I so look forward to connecting with your energy again. So until we meet again, from my heart to yours, lots of love. Take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who chose bundle 3 as the bundle that has the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that you need in your life right now. Welcome, welcome. So today's theme is moving from summer to autumn, changing of seasons, and how this impacts on you, and what it is that you need to do to take advantage of the change of seasons, and just looking at a little bit more of what's happening here within your heart and soul during this time. And today I am throwing cards on the table, first and foremost, as I always do. But I am working with 2 decks today. I am working with this one, which is the Roots and Wings Oracle. It's a new deck to my collection this week. And I'm also working with the Joy de Vie Tarot as well. Let's see if I can not throw it around. And I have got a couple of questions written out, as I do each week, that we're going to use the cards to get the guidance and the inspiration for. So let's get straight into it. Let's set the intention and let's call in spirit. So as I shuffle these cards here today, we're asking spirit to draw near. We're asking spirit to connect with every single one of us. We're asking spirit to put a band of love, light, and protection around every single one of us. We're asking that the cards that we draw give us the reading, the message, the guidance, and the inspiration that we all need to hear right here and right now. We're asking that it be relevant. We're asking that it helps. We're asking that it is clear. And we're asking that the reading just fill a gap in our hearts and give us a little bit of inspiration that we need right now. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. All right. So let's put the cards together. Actually, yeah, let's put the cards together. I'm going to cut the deck. I hope you can see there. I'm going to cut the deck and I'm going to draw straight off the top for this one. I'm going to leave it on the table there, and I'm now picking up the tarot deck. As I say, it's the Joy de Vie Tarot, Joy de Vivre, and let's give it a shuffle as well. I did shuffle before I started recording, but I do like to just shuffle the cards while I have you on camera, while I have you on screen, and let's just make sure that we get the cards that we need to hear right here and right now. Okay, I'm sure that is shuffled sufficiently. I'm going to cut the deck in half as well and draw straight off at the top. So I'm going to leave these cards on the little table here in front of my face so it's easy for me to grab, and we're going to start off with the Oracle deck. So the way I've got 5 questions written out on the table in front of me, and we're going to do the first question and the last question off the Oracle deck, and questions 2, 3, and 4 will be off the tarot. All right, so as I said, we're looking at the shifting and the moving of seasons from summer into autumn, what that means for you, what is it that's happening in your life right now, and how can you use the energy of the change of seasons to make some changes, some positive changes in your life. So question 1. as we're moving into autumn is about harvest. Autumn is about taking and about reaping and about, just making some abundant changes in your life right now. So what are you reaping right now in your life? And very interesting, the card that I have drawn for you is the card of release. And you can see it's the hands that are letting go, and they're letting go stones or coins or money or objects or things or stuff or emotions. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's about that release. It's about that letting go. It's about recognizing that sometimes in life we need to stop holding on so tightly, and we need to just open up the hands, and we need to let it go. And that's exactly what it is that you are reaping in your life right now. So this is a period, this is a season of letting go. It's a period of just recognizing the stones that I'm holding on to are causing pain, causing hurt, causing unhappiness and dissatisfaction, and it's time to let them go. It is the period of release. I want you to see the word at the bottom there. It's the period of release. It's the period of letting go. So this is what you are reaping. Everything that you've done up until this point in your life has been preparing you for this period of letting go, of release. I love that. I think that's quite awesome. So I'm leaving that on the table in front of me as well, and I will refer back to it. But now I want to go into question 2, and I'm taking from the tarot deck for this. I love this deck. The imagery, as you're going to see, is just amazing. Okay, so question 2 is, what aspects of your life, what aspects of you right here and right now require some balance? And the card that I've drawn off the top of the deck for you is the Queen of Wands. Let's see if I can get her into focus. No, camera doesn't want to focus on her today. There we go. So if you have a look at her, first of all, she is the Queen of Wands, and look what she's doing. She is nurturing the flowers. She is giving, opening her hands, releasing and giving whatever it is that the flowers need. Look at the aura around her, the energy around her. She has so much to give, and it's all she does is she nurtures other people, and she takes care of other people, and she gives to others. She's more worried about others than she is about herself, okay? And that's not a bad quality to have. That's really not a bad quality to have. But sometimes we have to find that balance, because remember, that was the question: what aspects of your life require a little bit of balance right now? And that's exactly what she's saying. She's the Queen of Wands is saying to you, recognize that you give. You're always taking care of, you're always nurturing, you're always looking after other people, looking after their interests, looking after who they are, what they're all about, all of those things. That is who you are. You're always taking care of other people. And that's not a bad thing, but it's about finding that balance. It's about reeling it in a little bit and saying, hold a second. Hold a second. It's time to let go of anything and everything that doesn't serve me. It's time to let go of, I almost want to say, the burdens of life, and maybe helping other people, and maybe being that person for other people is becoming a little bit of a burden. And this is what needs balance in your life. It's about letting go a little bit and just releasing yourself from that burden, so that yes, you still will help, but when it's convenient, when it's conducive for you, not just all the time that you are nurturing and taking care of other people all the time. These plants, these flowers, they will be completely okay if she's not there to water them every single day. If she pulls back and she only does every second day or every third day, they'll be okay. They will be okay. But that's what needs balance in your life, recognizing the amount of time and energy that you are giving to others. Is it necessary? Do you need to be giving so much, or can you pull back a little bit? Okay, question 3, what is changing for you at this time? So as we go through these change of seasons, as we move from summer into autumn, and as we recognize the things that we need to release, the things that we need to let go, what is changing for you right here and right now? And we have the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is the card of heartbreak. It's the card of, you can see how he's holding onto his heart that has been pierced and stabbed. He's holding onto it as tightly as he can. I love all the layers of his clothing, because it talks about that the emotion comes in layers. The emotion is made up of many layers. But this is what is changing for you in your life at the moment. The way that you hold on to your pain, the way that you hold on to your hurt, the way that you hold on to the disappointments of life, That is changing for you at the moment. It's almost like you're suddenly seeing things for what they truly are, seeing things for the way they are. You're recognizing that every time you help somebody, they don't appreciate it, they don't value it, they don't need it, or they don't appreciate it or value it. But it's also, remember, let's just go back to you. What are you reaping in your life at the moment? You're letting go of anything and everything that causes pain and discomfort and challenge. And what is changing for you right here is the way that you handle pain, hurt, disappointment, and all of those kind of energies. That is what is shifting and changing for you at the moment. Can you see how on the little heart here we have a tiny little plaster? So we started off putting little plasters. We started off patching and fixing as we went. And then suddenly we get to a point where we realize it's too much. We can't carry on like this. And that's where the release comes in. That's where this letting go comes in. So what is changing for you in your life right now? Sorry, I see we are blurry. Sometimes the camera just wants to challenge me. All right. So what is changing for you at this time? The way that you feel, the way that you respond emotionally, the way that you connect with people on an emotional level, and also the fact that you're not letting people walk all over you, you're not letting people take advantage of you. That is what is changing. And you know what? I think that's fabulous. I think that's exactly what you need right now. I think that's the right way of handling it. It's the right way of doing it. And I'm going to say it's overdue. It's overdue that you got to this point. It's overdue that you recognize that people are taking advantage of your kindness. People are taking advantage of your generosity. People are taking advantage of your kind nature. And it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. So that is what is changing in your life right now. Question 4. I want to see. Okay. Question 4. So question 4 is, what do you need to let go of in order for all this change to happen, in order for all of this to come through during this cycle, during this period in our lives? What do you need to let go of? And very interesting. I had to peek because it's the second queen that we've had. The first card we had was the Queen of Wands, and now you've got the Queen of Swords. I just want you to look at her face. Let me just cover my face, and then hopefully the camera will focus on her. No? Can you see how grumpy she is? Can you see how she's got like these grumpy eyes? Okay. She doesn't look very friendly. She doesn't look very approachable. There we go. Camera's finally focusing. Even her clothes, look how tattered and torn her clothes are, okay? She's standing at the top of the hill. She's standing at the top of everything. Even her wings are so like shriveled up and whatever else. So what do you need to let go of? Queen of Swords is about the thoughts. It's about the ideas. It's about the kind of the niggles that we have, the stresses that we have in our head and the stresses that we have in our mind, the things that are just consuming us so that we forget how to smile. We forget how to be happy. We're just like, almost want to say grumpy. And this is what we need to let go of. We need to recognize, we need to release anything and everything that's causing us pain. And this Queen of Swords is saying that it's even the thoughts, even the stress and the anxiety and the worry and all of those things. If somebody hurt you 20 years ago, let's let it go. Let's let it go. Let's not hold on to it, because otherwise we're going to end up grumpy like this lady, like this Queen of Swords. We don't want to be grumpy like her. Look at her face. She doesn't have a smile, and we're afraid that if she smiles, she's going to crack her skin, kind of thing. We don't want to be that. We want to be full of life. We want to be full of happiness. We want to be happy. We don't want to be Queen of Swords. So we need to let Queen of Swords go. We need to let this energy go. We need to not hold on to it. We need to release. Okay, so question 4, what do you need to let go of? Any thoughts, anything that's happening in your head, anything that's happening in your heart that's causing the frown, we need to let go of the frown. I love that. Okay, remember, what needs balance in your life? Here we had was the Queen of Wands, okay? So it's about the helping and the giving and the being there for others. That's what we need to balance. We're not saying don't do it, but we're saying we need to be more mindful and more aware of when we do it, how we do it, who we do it for, all of those kind of things, okay? What is changing for you at the moment is the way that you handle disappointment, pain, and hurt and heartache. And what do you need to let go of? The frown. We need to let go of the frown. We need to be more open. We need to let go of anything. We need to release anything that is causing us pain, causing us heartache, and causing us disappointment. I love that. We have a bit of a sense of humor, don't we? All right, so now we are going on to question 5. And question 5 is, what should you be focusing on next? So when we go through this change, when we change from the summer to the autumn season, when we go through this change, what is it that you need to be focusing on? What is it that's important and significant? What's coming up next for you? Where should your focus be next? And look at this bright and beautiful card, and it is Earth Mother. You know, who and what is Earth Mother? Let's just look at it. First of all, I see all the flowers, I see all the blooms, I see all the different colors of nature. We have got the pomegranate that appears there. So she is full blossoming. She is, and I know we're going into autumn, which is where the colors sort of change and go to the more earthy kind of colors, but we need to connect more with Earth Mother. We need to be Earth Mother. We need to be more grounded, more centered, more focused on everything. Earth Mother doesn't just focus on the one mountain or the one tree or the one flower. Earth Mother focuses on absolutely everything. And for you going forward, we want to have happiness. We want to have joy. We want to have success in all areas of life and not just a single one. And I think what we've been doing is by holding on, remember the release card, by holding on to a single aspect of who we are and trying to control it and trying to do right by it and trying to handle it correctly, what we've actually been doing is handling it incorrectly. So what's coming up next for you? Earth Mother is basically saying we need to be all-encompassing. We need to recognize that every single thing in your life matters, that every single thing, every seed, every plant, every tree, every insect, every whatever it is, everything is important and everything contributes towards the whole. So we need to be mindful of the whole, we need to be mindful of everything, and we need to be working towards that, and we need to be making sure that every single aspect of your life is fabulous and not just certain aspects. But we need to let go of the hurt, let go of the pain, and we need to embrace Earth Mother. So as I was saying in the intro, you know, autumn is the best time of the year for me. I just love it. We have the perfect weather here where I am. We have the perfect weather. So instead of being cooped up indoors, let's go out and enjoy. Let's go out and enjoy the nature. Let's go out and enjoy the beautiful weather that we have at this time of the year. Let's find reasons to smile. Let's find reasons to give up the frown, to turn the frown upside down into a smile, and let's do it outside. Let's connect with other people. Let's connect with Earth Mother. Let's connect with everything that brings happiness, joy, and peace and honesty and all of those kind of good things to your heart, because that is what matters. But in order to do that, we have to learn to let go. So let's put these two together. There's a couple of things that are really jumping out at me with these two cards. First of all is the barrenness of this card, okay? How this card, I mean, there's no background, there's no skyline, there's no, what's the other word I'm looking for? It's just the hands and the stones, okay? So there's barrenness here, and that's what we need to let go of. We just need to let go of anything and everything. Don't overthink it. Don't get too stuck here. Just let it go. And what's coming up next, look how full the card is. So we go from an empty card to a full card, from a dull color card to a bright, beautiful colored card, okay? Single color, multicolor. I love it. So this is where we start and this is where we end up. I love that. I think that is just absolutely beautiful and absolutely appropriate for each one of you. So friends, I do hope that you enjoyed your reading. I do hope that I've sort of given you just a little bit of food for thought, just to something to think about over the next couple of days as we go into the autumn season, as we move into this next period of our lives. What changes are you going to be making? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to release so that you can have the abundance and the happiness and the joy? Remember, get rid of that frown. Turn that frown into a smile and have joy and abundance in your life. I do hope that you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to hold your hand through this journey of life. And I look forward to connecting with your energy again soon. So with love and blessings from my heart to yours, until we connect again, take care. Bye.